which got done watching Sailor Moon season 1, episode 11.
What's the title of this guy? Usagi versus Ray, A Nightmare in Dreamland. Now, immediately one of my first analysis is that A Nightmare in Dreamland is the name of an old Kirby video game.
Mm.
Now, what came first, the chicken or the egg? That is the question.
That's the question. Solid Google could figure that out, but I'm not gonna.
No.
The episode begins with the sailors and Luna hanging out. Sailors fighting over the Sailor V comic. Luna says, be aware of your warrior. That you guys are warriors.
Yeah, that was a great quote.
And because they're all just acting childish. And
yeah, they're arguing. Well, Ray and Usagi.
Yeah, in particular, because
we're establishing that they have a bit of a sort of like sisterly, competitive relationship, perhaps with Ray as being the older, wiser sister.
Yep.
Now, noticeably in this episode, I noticed. Oh, I'm sorry to cut you off again, there, man.
Hey, no problem.
Jadeite and the Queen are starting to really be at odds. She's quite disappointed that he just consistently can't, keep these sailors at bay.
Yeah.
And like she was quite upset that there's a third one now.
Yeah. Usagi clearly is the most immature of the sailors.
That's for sure.
That I feel like has been established within the last 2 episodes. Maybe she'll continue to grow. I don't know. But in terms of this episode, you can just tell she's childish. She's like they go to the amusement park to.
Well, the thing is, they were talking about how they need to find was it the princess? They need to find the princess, which is something they hadn't mentioned before. I don't believe.
I don't remember the search for a princess and the dream princess in particular.
Yeah, no, the dream princess is the one at the park.
At the park,
they're looking for the something
princess.
Oh, okay, the crystal princess or something.
I'm a little scattered
I'm not sure what that is.
Yeah,
exactly.
My train of thought is.
I'm sorry.
Oh no, no problem. Dream princess.
So they go to the park.
They
run into a lion, much to the dismay of the crybaby Usagi.
And because the lion talks, Usagi freaks out, and then that's when we meet the dream princess. Now, Sailor Mars senses a strange aura from the dream princess right off the bat, because she seems like this loving, all-loving, compassionate, whatever.
Biblical Eve kind of character, perhaps.
But Sailor Mars.
She's got a sixth sense.
Yeah, and she doesn't take anything for face value. She can sense that there's something a little too polished about this person, a little too. Oh, I'm so nice. I'm so good. And this I feel like proves that Ray is the most mature.
Now, the reason they went to the
okay, yeah, that's a step.
The reason they went to the what do you call it? Theme park. The reason they went to the theme park is because 50 people had gone missing. At this place, which is a big deal.
That's a big number for one amusement park. There, it's a little shady. But then they get to the amusement park, and this again plays into Usagi's immaturity. Is like she's like trying to have fun. She wants to go see the Dream Princess. She wants to go play and stuff. And then Ray tries to be like, hey Usagi, like there's something shady going on, and Usagi is just. Seems to be very naive and doesn't really bad night.
This episode was quite contrived, I found. The most interesting thing in this episode was the establishment of Ray and Usagi's competitive relationship, as well as so in the final conflict, all 3 of them team up together to defeat the Dream Princess, and what I noticed is that there's a second power that Sailor Mars has, and I don't know if it actually has a relationship with her as a Senshi sailor, or if it's just because she has the spiritual sort of sixth sense within the universe of this show, which is kind of bizarre. So she did this thing where she essentially just stopped them in tracks by saying a bunch of phrases at the same time and then throwing this little sort of band onto the forehead of the circus sailor, and I'd like to understand the circus sailor, you know what I'm talking about, the Dream Princess. I'd like to know what that's all about, because it's pretty inexplicable where that power originates from, because it doesn't have the transformation sequence with it, and I find that frustrating. With the universe that's been established thus far.
100%, yeah. So her apple collecting the human energy.
Jadette is getting quite frustrated.
He's getting. He's screwed up 10 times. and
11.
11
Well,
times now.
at the end of this
yeah,
episode, yeah.
11 times now. So I had another thing about Usagi here. She really seems to hate authority. She hates being told what to do. Ray's trying to be like, hey, we got to do this.
Yeah.
And she'll just cry and she'll just continue to be.
And this is outside of the academy now. This is actually within her own inner circle of sailor warriors.
Yeah. And Ray just gets the business. She doesn't panic. She gets some sort of.
She's ready to work.
She's ready to work. She's
much like
worker.
Ami. Ami's also ready to work.
And then we meet
Ami's more studious. Ray is much more hands-on.
Hands-on.
Ami's much more analytical.
Yeah.
By the books.
Yeah, and then we meet the Moonlid monster, who's the creepiest thing yet, and without trying to be an over-the-top monster, which I find.
Yeah, it was mechanical.
It was mechanical, creepy, and it was very
sort of
Chucky, Chucky vibes, and it causes this dream spell onto the sailors, or the sailors that are in the candy, whatever. It was Ray and Usagi. And casts a spell that makes them feel like they're in a dreamland, and they're both obsessed with Tuxedo Mask, and they see this fake Tuxedo Mask
within the
illusion, and go see him, and then she's harnessing because they're like so infatuated with him, they get that energy, and see the only way I've realized in these episodes, the way to collect the human energy is by strong emotion. So that's stress, that's love, that's excitement,
longing.
Yeah. It can't just be a neutral kind of,
no, it's not general human energy.
It's like human.
It's emotional energy. It's creative energy. It's et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
And then I think that kind of the episode's about to wrap up there. I mean,
I found that it was charming how Ray started calling Usagi Dumpling Head as well.
Yeah, because she heard, oh yeah, we met Motoki again on
Tuxedo
one of the coasts.
Tuxedo Mask. He just happened to be on one of the ride.
And he called her Dumpling Head, and then Ray was like, Dumpling Head makes sense.
And then, she actually noticed. She was on tip. She's like, he kind of looks like Tuxedo Mask.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so I think that we're really starting to.
This is all true that Usagi, Sailor Moon, is very naive, and it's kind of frustrating because I mean the show is Sailor Moon, so I want her to kind of learn, and I think she will. I mean, as we go on, there's 200 episodes, so we'll figure this out. I think that's a good place to wrap her up there. So. I mean, basically, Tuxedo Mask kind of again saved the day.
He did
kind of thing. It was like this was an okay episode. Kind of predictable in the same, but it's not. Again, it wasn't.
Ray was the most interesting thing in this episode. Yeah. Sailor Mars was the most interesting in this episode. And it was interesting to see all three of them work in tandem. However, I think Ami, Sailor Mercury, was a bit underused.
Mm-hmm.
I think we can call it there.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks for watching.